Hey everyone, welcome to episode 10. We are currently on the borders between North Shinano as well as Kai province, where Toki Mitsusuke, the daimyo of Sunpu, has marched out with a few units. Nothing to worry about. What the fuck is going on here? We got a little graphical glitch going on. Okay, you know what? Let's take a look at Tadayuki's army in Kozuke, more importantly in Kozuke itself, actually. I was pretty much forced to repair the magistrate in Kozuke, and I also cranked up taxes to regular levels as I had it at low for a few turns, just to help with the public order issues we were having, but now shit is getting dire. The Morioka were marching south, and then they flipped around, and now they are hiding in these trees here. So I wonder if the Aitsu, Matsudaira, Takatsu, maybe they're just running and fleeing back to Fukushima. I would imagine so. They've really got to deal with their reactor there, I understand. But anyway, we've got Tadayuki in Kozuke, and he can begin to march out any day now. The place is quite pleased. I think we can even take our spear levy, and I think what we'll do is we'll march out and try to assault the Sunpu in the field and crush this little tiny stack. I think this is all the forces the Sunpu have mustered, but I really cannot say. I suppose we'll find out at some point. For now, we'll just stick Tadayuki here. Sunpu is, oh my god, they're rip-roaring mad because we didn't leave our spear levy in. Is that enough? No, it is not enough. We can exempt the region from tax, which will assist with the public order issues there. They're still pretty pissed about the whole non-clan allegiance thing, the resistance to invest. Fucking get over it. Just fucking get over it already. It's ridiculous. We've got 2 units of line infantry in Echigo that need to actually join up with Tadayuki in the field. How many turns? 4 turns away. Potentially 5 turns. Okay, we'll take the long way around. Maybe they can chill in North Shinano for now. But Tadayuki is going to need those units eventually. But what we will do is recruit even more units in Echigo to reinforce. We can recruit some levy infantry. Alternatively, we could recruit some of these sharpshooters who would be quite good on the walls, I would imagine. They have the range and accuracy to put down a lot of enemies before they get too close. So I think we will do. We'll recruit a unit of sharpshooters as well as maybe 2 units of levy infantry. There we go. Why the hell not? Because I'm still a little worried about the Morioka. What I imagine is going to happen is they're going to come up here and raid our farm, as I predicted a couple turns ago, and then probably turn right back and begin raiding like our fucking railroads and all of our like corner stores and Kmarts and shit. No more Slurpees, basically, is what I'm getting at here. Tadayuki has a pretty weak army. He's only got like 1.5 battalions of men, 2 squadrons of cavalry, and I don't know, like a battalion of light infantry or skirmishers or whatever. Not that great. Although the army led by Toki, my mistake, Toki Mitsusuke is not that great. So we could probably just take them out in the field. As for our fleet, they're sailing towards the Satsuma lands, fresh from their little endeavor and trip to Fuck You Island, which obviously they did not, you know, drop anchor as our fleet had said there, because if you were to drop anchor on this island, they would have, of course, you'd be like, oh, I'm from Nagaoka, what do you call this place? And they'd just be like, fuck you. My mistake is actually Go To Island, so you'd be like, what is this place? They'd be like, Go To. You'd be like, Go To where? What? Go To Castletown, Go To. No, but alternatively, you could introduce yourself, like, hello, my name's Makino Tadayuki, and they'd be like, what's your name? And they'd be like, fuck you. You get what I'm saying? It's a pretty poor joke. Speaking of puns, the first man to come up with a pun, that guy was in the money. Like, think about it. In, say, World War I, the first guy that said, like, that's a real sauerkraut. That guy was, holy shit, he probably was banging like 10 chicks a day. Because you can't handle that kind of, like, pun power. If you'd never heard that pun in your life, then you drop hoist right there and just fucking go to town. I don't even know what the hell that means. But all I'm saying is that puns, there's a lot of power to puns, and if you were not prepared for that power, well, I don't know what would happen. It's basically, you basically just have to resign your body and soul to the wielder of the true pun power. Anyway, we may as well end the turn here because, well, there's nothing going on. Nothing at all, except I forgot to point out that the Saga and the Tosa are no longer allied. The Saga, of course, originally from Nagasaki, I imagine. But it appears that they've also taken... No, that's Sasayama's. They've also taken up residence in the top of the Shikoku Island. Shikoku Island, this is Kyushu. Okay. Shikoku. They've taken the northern half of Shikoku, and it looks like the Tosa reside in the southern half. So their alliance is now strained. It's also autumn. For those of you out there who don't know what the fuck brown leaves look like, this is autumn. So just FYI. Anyway, we may as well end the turn. Here we go. Okay, we've got a little prompt here. We can enlist a general for 1,000 koku, and you know what? We don't need a general. We have 3 generals, but only 1 army. Hardly 2 little generals, I would say. We're actually swimming in generals as far as generals go. Generals, we will not enlist him. Our economy has just taken a massive shit, and I'll tell you in a second. First of all, though, the Okayama have been destroyed. The Satsuma have declared war on the Saga. I suppose they're going to consolidate their power in Kyushu here, and basically split their little empire between the Kumamoto, who would be sandwiched in the middle. As for our quartermaster's report, we've recruited a bunch of units in Echigo. Of course, you guys are well aware of that because you were watching it with your eye holes. There's also been another declaration of war, and that's the Tosa on the Saga. So it looks like the Tosa and the Satsuma are basically double-teaming the Saga lands, and we're probably not going to see much of the Saga from here on out. Looks like the Hirosaki have also arisen in Aomori, which used to be owned by the Matsume, if I remember correctly. So it looks like the Matsume lost their foothold in the northern tip of Japan. So that's fucking wonderful, because I don't want them to get too powerful. Now, as for why we are broke as shit is because our farms and silk weavers or mulberry trees or whatever have been raided and plundered by Toki Mitsusuke, and also, like I said, our farms in northern Nagaoka by the Morioka, led by Nambu Toshihisa. Good old Nanbu is our nemesis, and we will not be fucking rumbling with him for quite a while. He's maybe 2 or 3 turns away from Echigo, which we are now well prepared for, I would say. We've got some sharpshooters as well. Who in the fucking shit is this? Did we enlist that general when I meant to not enlist that general? Am I really that big of a fucking idiot? Oh, wow. Okay, well... Yep, okay, well, we've got Hisajima Shigataka. Shigakata, my mistake? Hisajima Shigataka, what a name. Hisajima. Okay, he's got 2 little dings of loyalty, whereas Kawai, oh my god, because he is... It's because we hired fucking Hisajima that Kawai is absolutely pissed, whereas Tadakuni, our son, he's nonplussed pretty much. But Kawai is now wasting his time away in North Shinano, pretty much just drinking and carousing his problems away. He's not even aware that the Sunpu are now marching on our lands because he's that much of a fucking douchebag. He doesn't even know what's happening in the realm at the moment, and he doesn't really care because he just wants to get drunk and bitch and moan about Hisajima. Fucking Shigakata. My god, that is going to trip me up for the remainder of this man's lifetime. I do love his modern uniform, though. Maybe that is why we hired him. I cannot say. But anyway, Tadakuni, no, my mistake. Tadayuki, the daimyo, not his son, is going to march on these Sunpu fucks and try to push him back. But there we go. One more turn and that will happen. As for our fleet, we're going to scout the Tosa lands like... So, And we have spotted Tosa itself, named Kochi, the castle town specifically, and we are very nearly done filling in every inch of our map. Maybe a few more turns, and then we can recall our fleet and potentially bombard the shit out of the Morioka if we arrive in time. I don't think so. But anyway, our line infantry is one turn away from North Shinano and probably another additional turn away from reinforcing Terayuki. So I suppose what we'll have to do right now is... Oh, who is this? The Tosa, of course. And we may as well just end the turn and hope for the best. As for Kosuke, we are now at parity, public order-wise. So we may as well get our spearmen to reinforce as well. There we go. Okay, we're going to plunge a few more weeks into autumn. Hopefully, before winter hits, we can turn this war with Sunpu around and capture Kai province. That would be fucking wonderful. But I suppose we'll have to see what the next turn holds. Well, it appears that absolutely fucking nothing happened this season, which is lovely. When I say season, of course, I mean these past couple weeks. Nothing has happened. I suppose we should take a look at our updated diplomacy. We can trade with Edo, but of course they're going to ask for 1 million. Oh, okay, well, I guess Edo is in no way wanting a trade agreement. No, apparently not. Okay, well, I thought they would fucking love us because they're very friendly, but oh my god, we can trade with the fuck you. Can we trade with the fuck you? That would make me a happy man. No, they want 1 million koku in return. So, how much is this trade agreement worth? 148. We may as well try to offer them 1 turn's worth of koku. Nope, they're not into that. The fuck you, of course, told me to fuck myself, which is not great. Okay, we can trade with the Fukuyama. We can trade with the Kiwana. Oh my god, none of these. Oh shit, we're still trading with Matsume. I suppose we are technically strenuous, or tenuous, I should say, tenuous allies of the Matsume for now. Miyazu, Nagoya, we could trade with Nagoya, Odawara. It seems that most of the clans in... Oh shit, we can trade with Sato, who has taken the Noda Peninsula. Very odd. We may as well request a trade agreement with these guys because they're basically our neighbors at this point. They are going to attack the Kanazawa pretty soon. Oh, they want a trade agreement as well as a military alliance. Okay, let's demand like 500 koku just to seal the deal. They're not down with that. Let's just get a trade agreement and the alliance. There we go. We are now allied with Sato, bringing our total amount of alliances up to 4. Of course, allied with Aitsu, now the Sato. The Takayama and the Kakagawa are fighting it out amongst themselves still, which we should take a look at, actually. I should point that out, just to give you guys a quick update there. It looks like there was a big stack of Kakigawa in South Shinano. They marched out to destroy the stack of the Takayama, and the Takayama basically kicked the shit out of the Kakigawa, but then quickly retreated back into Mino province. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, we are going to give Tadayuki all of his reinforcements, if possible, his spearmen, etc., and then we are going to march on the Sunpu. I wonder, though, if we give him these spearmen, can he then attack the Sunpu? I don't know. I don't really know. Let's see. The spearmen can't actually join the army because they're so fucking lazy. But nevertheless, we're going to attack Toki Mitsusuke in the field, and our fucking spear militia will join in as we go. We could probably just kill the Sunpu daimyo right the fuck now. So we may as well do. I'll see you guys in the field when we kill Toki Mitsusuke. Okay, our battlefield is this large open plain. We've got some divots in the middle, and we're just going to wait for our reinforcements for now. My deployment, this is pretty much going to be my standard deployment throughout the entire campaign. I've got my 2 battalions of infantry, obviously the 1st battalion, and then of course the half battalion in the 2nd group here, but I've got my screening light infantry in loose formation in front of my forces, and then some units of saber cavalry on the flanks. And they're going to go afield, basically far afield, to try to get a drop on these assholes over here. So that's pretty much, I think, how my armies are going to operate to some degree for the rest of the campaign, as I mentioned. But we're going to speed up the battlefield. We're going to rush forward with our light infantry and accompany them with our foot infantry, our line of foot, or whatever you want to call them. The Foot fucking Clan. Oh my god. Did you guys ever watch the old, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show? I never really did watch it on television, but I did happen to catch, like, the VHS fucking bootleg version. Well, no, when I say bootleg, it wasn't actually bootleg. It was like the official released VHS versions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that was because, well, my brother was a few years older than me, and he was totally into that when he was younger, so, I mean, I was into it as well. But anyway, I bring it up because, looking back, there's one really fucking weird aspect of that show that you never really think of when you're a kid, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's, like, there's a big fucking, like, giant baby man. Like, seriously, a big, bald, baby-like, giant dude in this show. And he wears, like, this sweet pair of, like, shades. But the weirdest aspect of it is in his belly, he houses, like, the main villain, or one of the main villains, an interdimensional, like, brain dude. Yeah, it's as weird as it is. He's got, like, little tendrils, like, little flaps of brain tissue that act as arms. It's really weird, but the weirdest part of it, if that wasn't weird already, is the way he talks. And I don't know if I'd be able to actually do his voice justice, but I could always attempt. I don't know if I would want to. No, I definitely want to. That's kind of why I brought it up. But basically, he just sounds like, "We have to find the turtles." It's really fucking weird. But anyway, our light infantry is now opening fire on... we're going to reposition and open fire on the general, actually, as that is the point of the sharpshooters, whilst we move in with our 2nd Battalion. There we go. I think the general's taking some casualties. We're going to draw our lines in the divot of territory there, my mistake. We have to find the turtles. I cannot do it very well. But anyway, our infantry is going to go around the flanks, and holy shit, we pretty much destroyed the general's unit, which is lovely. So we'll get our sharpshooters to begin opening fire on those spear levy now, which is great. We'll get 2nd Battalion to... Okay, we're going to get our 2nd unit of Saber Cav actually to intercept the general and tear him down to size immediately. 2nd Battalion is going to... Oh my god, we're going to have to go into a kneel formation pretty soon here. We'll get our sharpshooters in the middle like so. These guys are going to come around the flank. My spear infantry are going to advance as well as our Saber Cav, who's going to come like that. There we go. Our 2nd unit of Saber Cav is engaged with the general, and they're going to tear him down. But it looks like this unit of spear levy is now wavering as our units are just fucking ripping them a new one. Unfortunately, our 1st and 2nd companies of the 1st Battalion aren't really doing much because they are positioned in a fucking divot and they can't see anything. So we're going to grab them and move them like so. We're going to give our spear infantry some covering fire, who are going to run through these hills here. Hopefully they can get some cover in said hills. My sharpshooters are going to fire upon those levy. We're going to do that. There we go. My Saber Cav, I think, has destroyed the general. Speaking of Saber Cav, these guys need to pull back. They're going to get torn apart by those levy. Speaking of levy, our spear levy are now they're gaining some cover from these hills from fire, and now they're going to this unit is going to charge into those levy, and this unit is going to tie up those spear levy. There we go. We are now forming a solid battle line, but now we need to move up with 2nd Battalion like so. Our sharpshooters have seen off a lot of these men, and our Saber Cav are going to tear them down. There we go. Our 1st unit of spear levy is engaged there. Our 3rd company is being shot to shit. But 1st and 2nd companies of the 1st Battalion rather, are now engaging. Quite lovely. This unit of Saber Cav is probably too wide to be effective, so there we go. We'll charge these levy infantry in the rear and break them. What a tidy little battle. Our superior firepower has won the day quite tidily. We're going to cease fire for now, as our spear levy and melee units can probably win the day. Here we go. Our levy are going to engage yet again, whereas this unit of Saber Cav is going to bring up the rear. There we go. We have pretty much torn apart the Sunpu army in the field. And Krang is quite pleased. Do you guys like that fucking segue, Foot Clan, into Krang? Really weird, but there we go. What a fucking victory. See, what a deadly war machine our army becomes once we begin to approach my standardized army build, which is 2 battalions of line infantry, some supporting light infantry, and then, of course, as much artillery and cav as I can fit in the army. This is how I like to do my battles. So prepare your butts for some serious slaughter in the future, because this is pretty much how it goes. And you know what? For a rare little treat, we're going to run down all of these fucking assholes, because you never really get to see me run down prisoners. I usually edit it out, but this is just too juicy. There's so many prisoners to be caught. Well, not caught, but killed, I suppose. I don't know why they took hostages out of Total War, honestly. Maybe it was too exploitable because the AI is stupid. Anyway, this is just fucking great. Look at this. My Saber Cav. We'll even do a cinematic mode. My Saber Cav is just running down these spearmen. Boom, boom. Absolutely wonderful. Get a nice... there we go. Let's just sit back and appreciate the beauty of mass massacre. Mass massacre? That's a little redundant. Anyway, oh my goodness. We're a little far out. I suppose we can just end the battle now. We don't need to kill any more of these assholes, because we've already won a decisive victory. Oh, like, we barely took any casualties there. It was like the 4th company of 1st Battalion, 1st company of 2nd Battalion, both lost a man. 2nd company, though, lost 60 men, which is not the greatest. But we only lost 200 men in total. A lot of those were from our spear levy, I would say. Yes, the vast majority. But we killed 1,900 of the Sunpu. And we also, did we kill the, yes, we killed the daimyo of the Sunpu, so that's quite embarrassing for them. We're going to pull back for now. We may as well chill in these trees here and wait for our reinforcements to fill out our 2nd Battalion. Whilst the Spear Levy, I'm thinking about replacing this unit as it only has 200 men. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I disbanded the entire army. I was going to be like, fuck. But we only lost... 1 unit there. We'll disband this unit as well, and we can recruit a few more units to replace. But we'll take this unit and give it to... I don't know, can we make do with 2 units of Spear Levy? Possibly. Possibly, in engagements of that size. They were really effective that battle because they had some nice cover that allowed them to get in nice and close without taking too many casualties, but maybe we'll just try to make do with 2 units for now. Take less gold from our economy, less strain on our economy. I think we have time for 1 more turn, and we may as well end it right about now.
Is there nothing else?
Well, we've got a lot of good news, but we'll get to that in a second. Right now, we have to set our priorities. We have a little dialogue here that will allow us to expedite either civil technologies or military technologies. Research is underway, and we have been approached by numerous foreigners claiming to be experts in their field. We can exploit this to our advantage should we seek to focus on civil or military development. I'm thinking right now we should go civil as our economy. Though not doing too bad, 750 koku per turn. It could be stronger. We're not really wanting for any military technologies right about now. I mean, having cannon would be great. That would give us a huge advantage on the field, but for now... we want to build up our economy. After all, the Nagaoka are the tycoons. Despite tensions, conflict has yet to escalate. There may never be a better time to develop our infrastructure. We will seek the counsel of experts in civil technology. Wonderful. There we go. Which has increased the research rate of civil technologies by 25%. Now, when I was mentioning good news, it is because, well, first of all, I'm just going to grab my fleet here and do a bit of scouting. But more importantly, we have a successful... we've encountered a clan, the Takatori. But more importantly, our development level has increased because we built a city in Nagaoka. Look at that. Owing to our modernization efforts, we are now able to further develop our clan's military technologies and civil policies. Wonderful! So we have a city in Echigo. Unfortunately, Nanbu is continuing his merciless march against our capital. And even more so, unfortunate, is that there is a secondary Nanbu. I cannot believe this. Nanbu Akamori, and presumably his father, Nanbu Toshihisa. I mean, who looks older, this fucking guy or this fucking guy? I don't know. They're both looking quite old. Well, this guy's 14 years old, so I guess that seals the deal. Nanbu Akamori is bringing up the rear, and he's probably going to break like a second wave upon our shores if we are able to drive off his father. Luck of the draw, I suppose, that we allied with a clan that is currently being, currently in a war, I should say, and being occupied by some other fucking guys. Look at that. We are allied with Sado, and the Noto Peninsula still remains misty and a mystery, which is quite odd. I suppose the Aitsu lands are quite misty as well. Just because we're allies doesn't mean I can see all their shit. I guess it's just trade routes that do that. I guess I don't really know what I'm talking about. Anyway, since we completed our mission, which is developing our potential, we have also increased our wealth by 50% across all provinces. Well, wealth generated by buildings, that is, which is why we are currently raking in 750 koku per turn. Otherwise, we would be destitute, unfortunately. We've recruited our spear levy, we've built our city, our concealed army is discovered, and also Kōmei has increased in rank. This dojo is going to take forever to repair, my goodness. But more importantly, we should take a look at Kōmei. What are we going to do with this guy? Let's see. Coercing, instilling discipline. I think we're going to use Kōmei in like a conversion kind of situation, so we're going to increase his conversion rate there. And now the conversion rate for him is 5%, or 5 points, I should say, which is quite high. We've sicked Kōmei on Kozuke, and now he's like searching out the dissidents and the rebels, basically just kicking in people's doors, being like, "You like the Shogun?" And if they say no, then I suppose like he just gets in a big slap fight with them or whatever. I don't know, slaps them right in the dick or something. I have no idea. But anyway, we're gonna put our spear levy rather in with Makino's army. 2 units of line infantry, filling out our standardized army, basically. 2 units of line battalions. There we go. 8 units of line infantry, which is more than enough for most field operations. If we get into larger cities, we may need 2 actual armies if there's a huge garrison. So 16 units of line infantry total, as well as any like auxiliary forces, I think, like spear levy. Ultimately, katana infantry are like the best for taking castles. So if we can keep a traditional dojo or 2 around just to support, that would be great. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this turn and this video. We've met the Takatori, I believe it was, who are these green guys. And we now just have to sail towards Setsu and see who is there. Knock, knock, and then we'll have our map finished. As for the short-term goals, I suppose we'll grab Tadayuki's army, fill it out totally, wait for these spear levy to replenish on the way to Kai province, and then we can sack the place, I suppose. When I say sack the place, I mean occupy it. Meanwhile, it looks like Nanbu Toshihisa is going to be assaulting Echigo, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to repel the invasion. We could always build a cannon range in Echigo at some point, but it will not be anytime soon as we are poor as per usual. So I suppose we'll have to wait a couple turns until we can build that. But for now, everyone, I'm going to have to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next video. Oh, once again, Q, mash it. Mash it more. We're being strangled already. Oh. Are we being fucking oh my fucking god. This is too much. This is too much, you guys.